Scotch egg, pork pie, sausage roll. What is up, gangsters? My name is Beansy, and today we are trying some British food. This comes from Oxford Bakehouse, which I got at the Crossroads Market. They have an actual location in the Village, I believe, in downtown Calgary. Minus the piccalilli, which is mine. That came from me. I didn't make it. It's a Branston piccalilli, which smells a little bit different from the ones I had from Heinz. The one from Heinz is very astringent. These came to a total of $35. I need a Patreon. These videos aren't cheap. So I got a Scotch egg. These are little mini sausage rolls. They tell me they make their own sausage. I assume the filling is going to be different in each of these. This is a pork pie. Cornish pasty. For those who don't know, Cornish pasty is the basis of every hand pie ever. They started in Cornwall, and they were very popular with miners, and they would do a 50-50 pie or something of the like. It'd be a meat stew on one side and like a jam or a compote on the other side. Yeah, they would eat these for lunch. It's gone from there to Russia, Caribbean, North America, as far as the calzone and pizza pops and hot pockets. All over the world. They're called something different. Africa, Australia, Spain, literally everywhere has a hand pie, and they all originate in Cornwall. Fun! I think I will try these first. Also, I've tried all of these, but this is the first time I've had them fresh. Apparently they make these daily. This is exciting for me. Oh wow, that is exceptional. By exceptional, I mean this is probably the best sausage roll I've had in Calgary. That is really, 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 really good. Wow. That is so good. Oh, and I'm eating all of these cold. That's how I prefer these anyways. To be even close to this, I got sausage rolls in Nelson from Charcuterie. And those were the best sausage rolls I've ever had. I'd have to put them side by side to really compare, but these are really, really good. Branston piccalilli, not nearly as good as the Heinz piccalilli. These are exceptional though. Wow. I think I'm gonna go for the Cornish pasty next. It's been about 10 years since I had one. When I was in the construction business, I used to do coring, so I was all over the city. And there was this really nice little place down in, I can't remember the name of the area, but there was only one little tiny area, and they did Cornish pasties, and they were exceptional. It was like a little chicken stew inside of a pastry. I'm gonna get me started on the crust. Some piccalilli. So that is most certainly a short crust pastry. I didn't really get into the filling, which is why I put piccalilli on it. So that is, I believe, beef and onion. Now I can definitely see the similarities between this and a Jamaican patty, 100%. Jamaican patty is a little more flaky on the exterior. This interior filling is very, 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 very reminiscent of like a root version of a Jamaican patty. Wow. So as I was saying, the one that I was used to having was kind of like a cream of chicken stew or soup with like peas and corn, peas and carrots in the center, and it was really, really good. But that also kind of reminds me of like this Dutch/Indonesian dish where it was a cream chicken stew inside of a pancake that's been deep fried, which is fantastic. Like that is so good. Now onto a Scotch egg. I've only had Scotch egg once before, and it was from an African lady. It was great. I loved it. I wanted to try what it was like from somebody who knows what it's like to make back in the Britton land. That is very different tasting. I thought the sausage would take on a different flavor, but this is almost like a breakfast sausage. I can't say that it's a lot like a banger, because it's not. It's a lot more like a pork, and it may be just a really well seasoned banger with low fat content. So the sausage is fairly loose around the outside. The last time I had one of these, it was a lot tighter, but I don't know. This sausage is really good. I punctured my container. Now, before I open and reveal, I'm guessing that there isn't going to be gelatin in this because it's just not up to North American sensibilities to have gelatin on things. That is a very old world thing to do, and I don't think they've done it here. Even 20 years ago, when I was in culinary classes, I was grossed out by gelatin, putting gelatin on things, and it didn't serve well because I went and did the service on it afterwards, and they did not go well. I'm guessing this has no gelatin. And there is some gelatin. There is. So I'm going to douse this just gently because it's going to be a lot of pastry. I need a little bit of help here. So I will show you the gelatin. So you can see right there. Oh, right there. That's gelatin. And there's gelatin there. And there's gelatin over top. This meat is a very nicely seasoned. That is really tasty. The gelatin, I know you guys like it and everything, but I don't think it's completely necessary to be there. It does aid in adding a bit more moisture. This pastry or coffin, as they're also known as, is fairly thick. Not really kind of what I'm looking for. I'd like it to be a bit thinner, but they've also, there's definitely pepper, at least, in the coffin. You can see there, it's all over the place. It's a well-seasoned pastry, but it is very thick. Very, very, very thick. Very hammy smelling too, but it is very pork forward. Because it's so thick, it's ever so slightly gummy around the edges because it's picked up a lot of the moisture from both the meat and the gelatin, except for the top here. It is a nice dense meat, but there may be too much fat in it, which is why it's giving up all of this gumminess on the bottom and sides. But the top portion of the coffin has remained dry. Do want to try just a little bit of this pastry by itself. Okay, so most of the salt is in the meat. The meat is very, very salty, which I don't have a problem with. It needs it to keep up with the pastry. And it smells oh so hammy. I say that's likely a mix of ham and pork, which I'm fine with. It's really tasty. As far as my favorite thing here, I'd say the sausage rolls. Those are exceptional. And I bet they sell them by the dozens. Actually, you have to buy each of these bites in a 6-pack. By selling them in 6, you're like selling like 2 full-size sausage rolls. At least that's about how big they'd be here. Next up, I think the Scotch egg. I really like the Scotch egg. I really like the meat on it. It's tasty. The egg, as you can see, hasn't turned green at all, which means that they left it pretty nice before they actually turned around and fried a sausage to the outside. And then I would say the Cornish pasty. There's a lot of memories I don't have that are in this. That's the best way I can describe that. It's nostalgic, and it really has like this homey, loving feel to it. That's really, really good. And then last place, only because the gelatin and the pastry are kind of not really what I'm looking for. Like, this is made for British people and British people only. Possibly Australians, but I don't think so. Go ahead and tell me I'm wrong. I know I am. I know this is the way you're supposed to do it because I got ripped apart for the last time I did pork pie because it didn't have the animal goo on the outside. And I'm telling you right now, that's why they don't do it here. It doesn't fly here. It's like jellied eels. You grew up with it, you eat it. I'm telling you right now, I'm not eating jelly eels. I like mine with Japanese barbecue sauce on it. That is it. I might like gelid eels. I don't know. If you enjoyed watching me try these British foods, I got a lot of them. Yeah, let's go pies. Over here. And I did sausage rolls. Can't remember if they're out, but I definitely did sausage rolls. They weren't as good as these ones. That'll be over here. I'm trying to not put my hand in the piccalilli. Thanks for watching. Peace. Forgot the name. And by exceptional. Oh boy.